dishonest has surfaced regarding Germany and many other European nations.
By a secret treaty in 1879, Austria and Germany had been allied against Russia. Impressed by Germany's growing strength and overcoming her distrust of Austria, Italy joined the compact in 1882. So the center of Europe, with two young nations and one ambitious old one, became a fortress, waiting for the day to make a sortie. The implications did not go unnoticed on either side of the fortress. The Imperial Russian government, the very symbol of tyranny, signed an agreement with the Third Republic of France. So the Triple Alliance was now faced with a dual alliance, and the dual alliance was linked to the Balkans, an unsettled area which could at any moment burst into flame. In 1906, military discussions began between the two countries. Britain's entente with France was followed by an understanding with France's ally, Russia.
Breaking news. I'm Ryan Howard with World News Today, and I'm getting word that the melting pot is about to blow apart. This could be the start of World War I. Take a look at this video.
An open touring car takes a wrong turning. Its driver tries to reverse in the narrow road. What happens in the next few seconds will cause the deaths of millions of people. Suddenly, a young man steps forward, raises a pistol, and fires 2 shots. His target is the heir to one of Europe's oldest empires. But how could a terrorist attempt by an obscure student in a hot and dusty Balkan town plunge the world into the deadliest war yet known?
Want to know what's happening on the front lines? Take a look at this video describing a soldier's departure to battle and life on the front lines. Let's look at the weapons used during war.
The Western Front, as it was known, was defined by 2 lines of trenches, zigzagging across northern and eastern France for thousands of miles. Wide enough for 2 men to walk abreast and stand erect to fire their machine guns, the trenches were choked with mire, rats, and lice. In 1914, the German army deployed their new cannon against Belgium. Big Bertha, as it was called, could hurl an 1,800-pound shell 9 miles. A year later, at the Second Battle of Ypres, the Germans introduced poison gas to warfare. Soon, both sides used chemical weapons like chlorine, which suffocated its victims, or mustard gas that burned the skin and blinded its casualties. By 1916, the British Army began using tanks in battle with great success. Before long, however, German soldiers realized that flamethrowers, weapons that could shoot a stream of flaming gasoline, could be used to stop them. Balloons and then airplanes were converted into weapons of war. When Germany attacked the Belgian city of Liège in 1914, it was the first time civilians were killed by a warplane. Planes were fitted with machine guns and loaded with bombs, and soon began dueling in air-to-air combat.
Finally, after many years of fighting and countless death tolls, World War I is finally over. Germany has agreed to sign an armistice with the other countries currently involved.
After 4 years, World War I finally drew to a close in 1918, ending one of the worst military conflicts in history. The United States finally declared war on Germany April 6, 1917. Meanwhile, war efforts in Russia were growing unpopular. Their economy was near collapse, and food shortages led to protests from civilians. These protests resulted in the abdication of Tsar Nicholas II and the appointment of a provisional government. Starting August 8th, a series of offensives was launched by the Allies Allies, which effectively ended the First World War. Now known as the 100 Days Offensive, this surge ended when an agreement was signed to cease fighting on November 11, 1918. The other Central Powers, Bulgaria and the Ottoman Empire, had all signed their own armistices earlier in the year. Despite fighting being over, the war did not formally end until numerous treaties were signed between the nations involved. Most notable of these was the Treaty of Versailles, which Germany signed on June 28, 1919. This treaty demanded that Germany accept sole responsibility for causing the war, as well as pay billions of dollars in reparations.